So it's irrelevant to you that I was locked in a room, that I nearly died in this room, that they blocked my outside call on purpose so that I could not call 911, and left me here to die?
I don't know what to tell you. I can't solve that problem for you.
What about the next elderly woman who comes into this hotel and something similar happens to her?
I don't know what to tell you. I can't solve that problem for you.
No policy or procedure for anyone who is injured or becomes ill in your hotels, as far as
Correct.
None. Zip, zero, nada.
Correct. But I think that there's a lot of extenuating circumstances here that we've already touched on.
No, not a lot. Just one. The only extenuating circumstance you've mentioned is the fact that they haven't been paid. That's it.
Right. That seems to be a pretty significant extenuating circumstance.
Okay. So their mistreatment of me is somehow validated by their frustration over not getting paid.
I'm not suggesting that they mistreated you. You're suggesting that. No, I'm not taking a position one way or the other.
Isn't that your job to take a position one way or the other?
No.
I want to talk to you about your policy for safety. That's all I want to talk to you about.
And we don't have a policy around safety. We are not the owner or operator of the hotel. All property safety related issues are left to the operators of the hotel to address. Choice does not dictate specific safety protocols for the hotels to follow.
So let me see if I get this straight. You sell them a franchise based on your reputation, and you sell that reputation to the public using your name, Choice Hotels, and people rent hotels based on your reputation. But what we're really doing is renting a hotel from some guy like this one, the owner, Devon Shaw, and you really don't care what he does or how he does it, as long as he pays you his franchise fees.
No, that's not the case at all.
Kind of sounds like it.
I'm sorry?
Okay, enlighten me.
Well, there are a number of rules and regulations that the franchisee is required to comply with in order to meet brand standards. Choice is not in a position to dictate brand standards around life safety issues because we are not in each particular hotel market. We don't know what the local rules and regulations or codes are that may be applicable.
And you have absolutely, positively no safety measures set in place for any of your franchises on how to care for your customers.
It is a locally owned and operated business that has a franchise flag from Choice.
I guess it's a bad assumption, isn't it? That we assume that there's a level of stability and safety in these hotels when they are no more safe than the local rundown hotel because they're just owned by whomever, and as long as they're kept clean and up to code, that's all you care about, right?
Well, I think your expectation when you stay at a hotel is that the hotel meets certain brand standards. I think there's a baseline expectation that you'll have a safe stay at any hotel, and we can't make the owner contact you, and we're not in a position to give out the owner's phone number.
What do customers do? What do customers do when they have a problem and they need some help? What do they do?
We've been talking for half an hour. I've explained the company's position. I can't solve your problem.
I don't know. Come up with a solution.
I don't have a solution.
You don't have any solution.
I don't. I will talk with them. I don't know if anything will happen to them or not until I talk with them, but I don't really think that that's,
You don't think what? It's any of my business? Is that what you're going to say?
I'm not going to report back to you if the hotel has a problem with their phones, and they'll be required to fix it.
So that's it?
Oh no! The rest of your complaint will be passed on to the hotel.
For the hotel to deal with?
Yeah.
What was your name again?
My first name is Stewart. My last name is Kreinler.
And you are what exactly?
I am Vice President and Assistant General Counsel for the company. We'll pass the complaint on for them to respond to.
To respond to who?
To you.
And if they don't respond to me, what happens then?
If they don't respond, there's a protocol in place for them to, they have an obligation to respond.
They have an obligation to respond.
Yes. Right. So when a complaint is registered with Choice, that's when the hotel has the obligation to respond. If you are complaining to them directly, we don't have a record of that.
The 3 calls I made to customer service, did any of them file my complaint?
I don't know. I don't have access to that system.
I made 3 complaints to customer service, and it's been over 72 hours and nobody's responded. Nobody.
So once I call them and I find out what happened, and if they say, oh, the phone was broken in her room, it wasn't working, we're very sorry about that, we will send her a note of apology. What are you looking for?
Apparently you do not have a policy at all for the safety and security of women in your hotel. You do not have a policy, and I want one. I want a policy for that.
That's not going to happen. Our policies are not changing.
How about a resolution policy? A way to get a resolution resolved without going through your customer service, which apparently it doesn't do anything.
That's not going to change either.